Now, the news. We'll start this week off with something that is actually pretty affordable. It's called the EP10, and it's from a company called XTAR. Now, for those of you that are not aware, this company has been around for a long time. They really have. And they've always focused on budget-priced guns. That said, the receivers are largely made from polymer, which some people don't like. You might lose out on the, end-of-world type durability, but you do gain lightweight and better pricing from that. The top of the receiver has a side charging handle. It's left side only. There is an M-LOK handguard and a sort of blast diverter type muzzle device to keep your hands from getting blasted. They offer braced versions as well as the long barrel boy versions, but let's be serious, the shorty is the way to go. As you may have guessed, this new one, with the name, is chambered in 10mm auto. It also has a 6.5-inch barrel, uses Glock pattern mags, and I did get a chance to shoot one of these at GUNCON's Media Range Day, and when they told me it was a 10mm, I was actually surprised. I thought it was a 45 ACP because the recoil was actually pretty mild. It seems that they've taken the same thing that reduced recoil in the 9mm version, which I believe is some kind of weighted buffer, and applied it here. And before someone says something, 9mm doesn't recoil a lot, the fact is a 9mm PCC direct blowback version recoils more than a 5.56 AR, at least in terms of felt recoil. So anything to reduce that, in my book, anything to make that shoot flatter is a good thing. The biggest thing here that's a win is the pricing. I'm told that it will land around 600 MSRP. And the gun is likely to land in stores or whatever, be available at the end of this year. We reviewed the 9mm 16-inch version not super long ago and rated it 18.5 out of 25, which is not bad at all. We shall see about getting one of these 10mm when they're ready to rock. Yeah, that could be fun. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News. I'm John Patton. If you are interested in winning this case of stuff and everything that's inside of it, pay attention. Text the word GUNCON to 484-648-8774 to get entered to win the case. We will announce the winner at the end of July. Also in the news this week is Kimber with a new version of their CDS9 pistol. It's called the CDS9 Classic. At the core, you have a 3.18-inch barrel, 15-round and 13-round mags, ambi controls, nylon grips with some stippling on them, and a polished side on the slide for the optic-ready version, and the all-black night sight only version. MSRP on the optic-ready version is $865, and the one with the missing front sight in some of the... Come on, guys. It's very obvious. That one is $795. I know a lot of folks out there prefer hammer-fired guns over striker, so perhaps this is the answer to that question. It's definitely not cheap, and Kimber's reputation for quality control isn't really the best, so maybe these will be okay. I will say that I've not heard of any issues specific to the CDS9 line of guns, so I don't know, maybe it won't suck. Moving on, Beretta has a new version of the 92 called the 92X RDO Inox, whatever. They say this gun aims for the top performance, ideal for competitive dynamic shooting and defensive purposes. And when you pull back the marketing slop, it probably means it's a good all-around gun. It has a 4.7-inch barrel, 18-round mags, and optic-ready slide, of course, and it's got the silver Inox finish. I don't know, we'll try them both out. MSRP here is $999. Beretta and SIG seem to be in a competition with each other to see who can have more versions of the same gun. SIG currently has 22 versions of the P320, which is a lot, and Beretta has 42 versions of the 90 series pistols currently. So I guess Beretta is winning that race. Like, good Lord. The thing that I would find very interesting here is if there was a way to know how many of these things are just sitting collecting dust in a distributor warehouse versus actually being sold in a gun store. That would be valuable info for the gun industry, I'll tell you what. Rolling on from there, Chiappa has a commemorative version of the M1 carbine. It's one of their rimfire M122s, and it has an 18-inch barrel, 10-round mags, the classic old-school style rear sight, along with a canvas sling, the old-school oiler, and a certificate of authenticity. There's also the medallion in the stock that marks the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. They are set to only produce 1,945 of these, and the MSRP here is $500. It's not bad if it runs. In air rifle news, Air Force released one they're calling the Tex Rex 457. It's a PCP, or pre-charged pneumatic air rifle, like a lot of others out there. The thing that makes this one interesting is that using the 34-inch barrel and 400 grain slugs, it can deliver 1,000 foot-pounds of energy to a target. That's substantial. With lighter weight projectiles, you can get up to 1,250 feet per second from the muzzle, and with a 4.57 diameter projectile, that's cruising along pretty good. MSRP on that one is $1,470. And I've got another air rifle for you guys that I was told about from Pyramid when they were at GunCon this year. I'm trying to learn more about these things because they are advancing as much as our normal centerfire, rimfire stuff, and I want to know if you guys out there would find them interesting as well, so let me know in the comments. This one is the Karma Red Panda PRS. It's a PRS version of an air rifle. It's a 22 caliber, has a 28-inch barrel and 18-round mags. The rifle weighs 16.8 pounds and has an M-LOK handguard, so you can do a bunch of stuff there. 30 MOA rail on the top for reaching out really far, and a bunch of other whiz-bang stuff. Apparently, a pre-production version of this was used to win a bunch of first-place finishes in some competitions, so that's cool. I guess it's pretty accurate. And at the same time, the MSRP is not cheap. It's $2,400. I know that these things can ship straight to your house, but I have to wonder, are they really worth that kind of money? It seems cool. It's probably really cool, but that's not cheap for a centerfire rifle. So, I don't know. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And while you're doing that, let's hear from this week's sponsor, Wooks. Wooks offers everything from rifle chassis to furniture for your 12 gauge, all with a big helping of beautifully finished, ultra stylish wood. They just released this new Super Leggera, aka Super Light stock for your Remington 700, Howa 1500, Tikka T3, and more. I'm planning to use it as the base for a lightweight, long-action hunting rifle. Thanks again to Wooks for supporting the Gun Collective. Let's keep it rolling with this week's Friendly Fire question. If you want to ask me a question, slam it down in the comments with the words Friendly Fire so that I can go back and find it. That's very helpful, and I appreciate you for doing it. We've got a few this week, as per usual. First is from Brian. And he says, how many people do you think are going to hold off on buying a can until the big, beautiful bill goes into effect? First off, you mentioned October, but I believe that might be incorrect. I'm going to have Adam break it down in the next episode of the Big 2A, so get subscribed for that. Second, I think loads of people will be waiting. I really do. I think a lot of people are going to wait. That bill as a whole was a disaster from the start, and it's a shame that we didn't get the result we deserve. I'll leave the rest of my commentary for another day. Mitch says, have you worked for a firearms manufacturer in the past? Kinda, yes. My company, the one I own, has been hired by several brands over the years to do various types of marketing work, influencer marketing, consulting work, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. I think that my experience understanding manufacturers on both sides of the coin has helped me deliver a more accurate message to you guys. I think that I have a deeper understanding of how they see things, and I have a good understanding of how you guys see things, and I think that's great. And Rated Redneck says, what are your thoughts on 7 PRC? I think it's a neat round, and it sits in a good spot for folks that are looking to have a really well-rounded cartridge. However, I'm personally more inclined to jump up to the 300 PRC if I want a real punch. I don't, like the 6.5 PRC is cool, but I'd rather have the 300 PRC, I think. We've got one with a Shaw barrel that's in testing, and so far I'm pretty excited about it. My friendly fire question to you guys this week. How many of you have or have thought about getting a 3D printer? If you have one, do you think that homemade stuff is the next wave of the future? I'm curious if anyone out there has sort of caught the bug like me and some of my fellow content creators have. I own a Bamboo X1 Carbon, and I love it. I really do. Sound off in the comments with your thoughts on 3D printers. How's about we jump into some industry news? I like industry news. I'm sure you guys like industry news. Do you like it? Do you like it? There's no one there. According to several news sources, Serbia is halting all arms exports. I was able to find an announcement from the Serbian Ministry of Defense, And it confirms this, saying the export of weapons and military equipment manufactured in the Republic of Serbia is suspended. I believe they are allies with Russia and are likely being pressured. I don't know for certain. It goes on to say that in the future, this will require consent from government entities along with the National Security Council. This affects the U.S. market because companies like Zastava and I believe it's pronounced Privy Partisan have been importing arms and ammunition from Serbia. Now, there's no telling exactly how this is going to play out over time, but it is important to note that it very well could affect those two companies at the very least. So I guess we'll wait and see what happens. Also in industry news, Streamlight, a flashlight brand based about 45 minutes from me here in PA, they're suing the cheap tool retailer Harbor Freight. Why are they suing? Because Harbor Freight started selling this flashlight that looks a shitload like the Streamlight TLR1HL for a third of the price. Obviously, this is another example of Chinese manufacturers not giving a flying about American IP. Friend of the channel, Chris from the 740, has a video on these lights that is worth watching. I'll put a link to that in the description. I will also put a link to the real deal version of the light if you're interested in supporting a U.S. company. I think that's probably a good thing. You guys like that sort of thing. And we have a smoking deal of the week for you guys. It's very simple. Caldwell has a sale going on right now for the Flashbang, both the Pro and regular versions, which are fantastic. The regular version I was able to see at 1,300 yards in the fog. Holy crap. Plus their Claymore target throwers, clay target throwers. They're great. And because you guys watched TGC, you're watching this right now, they want to offer you the best deal on the internet. I said, don't come to me with any regular deal. We want the best on the internet. Now, if you use the code EXTRA8 at checkout, you'll get up to 33% off. Normal people, they'll be getting 25% off. You guys, though, you'll get 33 when you use that code EXTRA8. On top of that, if you use my link that's down in the description, you'll get 20% off of anything that's not already on sale just by clicking through that link. It should just, hey, 20% off from the link. Smoking deals all around. Caldwell loves you guys. Bye.